Hey everyone, welcome to Abstract Boss. It is Moscow Mule Monday. I am super excited. I'm gonna finally show you guys how I finish my wood coasters. Ooh, I'm so excited because I've been dying to have these done. I love them, and you can utilize the resin to cover a lot of other things as well, okay? So with the resin, I have a crappy resin that I'm just trying to get rid of, so I'm not even gonna waste my time telling you guys what kind of resin I use, but I will tell you that I am switching to art resin for so many reasons, and I'll do a video on that later. But first things first, safety. I got a mask. Might look pretty sexy on me today, right? Ooh. I got some gloves. And I got my torch. Now this is to help pop the bubbles once I put the resin on top of the coasters. Is it just me, or do I seem like extra excited today? I mean, maybe I'm excited because it's my birthday! So, this is obviously an extra special episode of Abstract Boss because it's my birthday. Dirty 30, I am super excited. I hope you guys have a really good time. Show me some love, okay? It's my birthday, so share the crap out of this video. Tell me what you guys think of it, and make sure you guys comment below with your thoughts and experiences with resin as well. Like, subscribe. Let's get started. Alright, so you want to have a mixing bowl. I have 1 part resin and 1 part hardener. Now this could vary depending on the resin that you're using, so always make sure to read the back. Let me get my mask on. Alright, now I already have my gloves on, and I am ready. The things that you want to have on hand. You want to have a spatula. I just got this from the dollar store. You want to have a Moscow Mule, right? At least I do. Alright. You also want to have a couple spoons, just in case the spatula isn't doing its darn job and scraping the sides like it should. Then you got some spoons to be able to do some extra. You want to have a timer, so that way you know how long you have to mix, -3 minutes. And then you pour. First one, you don't want to pour them both at the same time because you want to be able to scrape them both. So I'm going to pour my resin first. I'm going to try to use the spatula first. Get all that resin. For one, you don't want your portions to be screwed up. So you really want to make sure that you're getting equal amounts of both. So using that spatula is extremely useful for that. But also, you really don't want to waste any, right? Resin costs a lot of money, and I try to save money, not spend it all the darn time. Well, I do kind of spend it all the time, but I try to save. Alright, so now they're both empty, and I'm going to set them aside and start mixing and start my timer. I'll fast forward through this craziness for you guys, but just keep in mind that you really want to scrape the sides when you guys are mixing this, because you don't want any of that resin to sit out. You want to mix it all together, baby, all together. Yes, I am a little extra crazy because it's my birthday. Alright, I'll leave you guys alone for 3 minutes, but it's going to look like 10 seconds for you. Woo! Abstract flash. Okay, so the timer went off. Now, what I'm gonna do, now there's obviously an obnoxious amount of resin in here, and that's because I have more resin things I have to do after this video. So that's why I have so much. But you obviously do not need this much, but I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do. I take the spatula and I just allow some of this resin to come onto here, and then Grab a little more. So make sure you get it on all 4. Boom, boom. Okay. Now another thing, if the resin says that it needs to be warm, then make sure that crap is warm, okay? It will make a huge difference in being able to work with it. I have a spreader that I'm just going to spread around. I got like 100 of these from Amazon for like $7. So if I can find that link again, I'll look through my orders and I'll post that down there for you guys. So that way you can do the same thing. But you just want to go ahead and give it a nice thin coat. And then I'm going to slowly wipe off. And that's going to start to get it on the side. Boom, boom. Now, I have a little bit of working time, so I'm not in the biggest hurry in the world, okay? You just want to really make sure that if you do have a small working window, don't rush, okay? Don't do too many projects at once to where you can't work with them. So you just spread it around. And then once I get the tops, what I like to do, because I want to have my sides finished. So I'm going to spread this around, and then I'm going to use my finger, since I have a glove on, I'm going to use my finger to get the sides. Okay. There we go. Now I also like to wipe this off so that way hopefully I could reuse it again. So just make sure you guys have paper towels ready, because cleaning hard resin off of all your stuff is like the biggest pain in the rear end ever. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glove and my finger and I'm going to stick it in the resin, and I'm just going to spread that around my side so I get my edges. I like my wood to look really finished and shiny. Please wear gloves when working with resin. You will have skin irritations and plenty of other issues, so do not try to pretend like this stuff is not toxic and dangerous for you. Ah! And it just fell in the resin, so that's cool. Yeah, I'm super clumsy. And it's kind of slippery. Well, I guess I'll just go ahead and wipe some of that on the bottom. Make it nice and shiny down there, but that might stick to this, so we'll see what happens. Who knows? It works. I can always do a second coat. Alright, so I went ahead and used my gloves to spread it around. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my gloves off. Be very careful not to touch your skin. So I fold them outwards, I grab it, and then fold it out again. Set it aside. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your blowtorch and you're going to pop all those bubbles. Now I've heard a couple different things. I've heard people use heat guns, and yes, that does work, but what I was told to really help get those bubbles out is the butane that's in this. It really assists with that. So I'm not sure, you know, if that's something you guys are super duper worried about, or if you want to have bubbles in your piece, then by all means, you do you, boo. But I definitely do not want to have bubbles. I want to have a nice clean finish. And just because you go over it with a blowtorch once does not mean that all those bubbles are out. So you want to make sure that you continually go over these. Look, you can even see more popping up because the wood is very absorbent, and it's very likely that especially these two pieces, I'm going to have what looks like holes after this cures, which is totally fine. That just means that the wood absorbed the resin and you'll just have to do a second layer. Not a big deal, but my recommendation to make sure you don't have these tiny little baby bubbles is to make sure that you keep coming back with your blowtorch, Set a timer, come back like every 5 minutes, because until this stuff is cured, those bubbles are gonna keep coming out and you're not gonna like what it takes to get rid of those bubbles later.